Hey everyone, and welcome back to Mind Nudge Finance.
Great to be here.
Today we're diving deep, really deep, into something fundamental, the absolute top 5 personal finance tips you need to build a really solid financial future.
Yeah, these are the essentials. We've looked at a ton of material to pull out the core ideas that, actually move the needle.
Exactly. And look, managing money, it doesn't have to be this huge, scary thing. We're aiming for clear, actionable steps today.
Totally. We'll cover budgeting, emergency funds, super important, then credit scores, getting out of debt, and of course, retirement savings.
And hey, before we jump in, if you like what we're doing, hitting that like button and subscribing, it's totally free, costs you nothing, and it really helps us keep bringing this stuff to you.
It really does. Okay, so where do we start? Budgeting.
Yeah, let's kick off with budgeting. It's got to be the foundation, right?
Absolutely. It's more than just counting pennies. It's about getting a real picture, like true clarity on where your money is actually going.
Yeah.
Income in, expenses out.
It's like turning the lights on in a dark room, financially speaking. You need to see what's happening.
Precisely. And there are tools for this, obviously. Budgeting apps, simple spreadsheets, whatever works for you. The key is just tracking it.
Right. Because once you know your cash flow, where it's really going, then you can start making informed choices. Are you spending on what actually matters to you?
That's the core question. It's step one for taking back control.
Okay, so control is key, but life. Well, life happens, right? Unexpected stuff comes up.
All the time. And that's where the emergency fund comes in. Think of it as your financial safety net, or maybe like a shock absorber for your finances.
Shock absorber, I like that. So for things like, I don't know, the car breaking down or a sudden medical bill.
Exactly that kind of stuff. Things you didn't plan for, but, well, they happen.
So how much should be in this fund? What are we aiming for?
The general advice, and it's pretty solid, is aiming for about 3 to 6 months worth of your essential living expenses.
3 to 6 months. Okay, that sounds like, it sounds like a fair bit.
It can feel like a big target, yeah. But honestly, the peace of mind it brings is massive. It stops a surprise expense from completely wrecking your financial progress or forcing you into debt.
Right, it prevents a setback from becoming a total derailment. Makes sense. Okay, what's next? Credit scores.
Yes, credit scores, these can feel a bit mysterious sometimes, but they're incredibly important.
How so? What's the big deal?
Well, your credit score is basically your financial reputation on paper. It heavily influences whether you can borrow money and, crucially, how much it's going to cost you in interest.
So loans, mortgages, credit cards, even things like insurance rates sometimes.
Exactly. A good score opens doors and saves you money. It's a tool, really, to help you reach your bigger financial goals.
So how do we, build and keep a good one? What affects it?
The biggest factor, hands down, is paying your bills on time, every single time. Consistency is key.
Okay, on-time payments. Got it. What else?
Keeping your credit card balances low compared to your credit limits. That's called your credit utilization ratio. Lenders like to see you're not maxing everything out.
Right, shows responsibility.
Yeah. And also, check your credit reports regularly. Make sure there aren't any errors dragging your score down. You can usually get them for free once a year.
Good tip. Treat it like checking your bank statement. Okay, moving on. Let's talk about something that weighs a lot of people down. Debt.
Yeah, debt can be a really significant burden, no doubt about it. But there are smart ways to tackle it. Structured approaches.
Okay, like what? What are the main strategies?
There are 2 really popular and effective methods. First, there's the snowball method.
Snowball? How does that work?
With the snowball, you list all your debts, smallest balance to largest, ignoring the interest rates for a moment. You pay the minimum on everything except the smallest one. You throw every extra penny at that smallest debt until it's gone.
Okay. And then?
Then you take the money you are paying on that now gone debt, plus its minimum payment, and you add it to the minimum payment of the next smallest debt. It snowballs.
I get it. So you get these quick wins, paying off debts completely. That must feel good.
Exactly. It's great for motivation. Seeing progress keeps you going.
Okay, what's the other main one?
That's the avalanche method. It's maybe less about psychology and more about the math.
Oh, so.
With the avalanche, you list your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. You pay minimums on everything except the debt with the highest interest rate. You hammer that one first.
Because that's the debt costing you the most money over time.
Precisely. Mathematically, this method saves you the most money on interest in the long run.
So, snowball for motivation, avalanche for saving the most interest. Which one's better?
Honestly, the best method is the one you'll actually stick with. If those quick wins from the snowball keep you motivated, great. If saving the maximum interest fires you up, go avalanche. Personal preference plays a big role.
Makes sense. Find what works for you. Okay, last big pillar, retirement. Feels far away for some, but
But it's so, so important to start early. The single biggest factor here is time, thanks to the magic of compound interest.
compound interest. Explain that quickly.
It's basically your money earning returns, and then those returns start earning their own returns. It creates this snowball effect, but with your savings. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow and compound.
So even small amounts saved early can grow significantly over decades.
Hugely significant. It's incredibly powerful.
So practically speaking, how do people start?
The main ways are contributing regularly to retirement accounts. Things like a 401k if your employer offers one, or an IRA, an individual retirement account that you set up yourself.
And that 401k match I hear about.
Oh, absolutely crucial. If your employer offers a match on your 401k contribution, say, they match 50% or 100% of what you put in. Up to a certain limit, you need to contribute at least enough to get the full match.
Why is that so vital?
Because it's literally free money. It's an immediate, guaranteed return on your investment. Not taking the full match is like leaving part of your salary on the table.
Wow, okay. Free money is hard to argue with. So starting early, contributing consistently, grabbing that match, that's the path.
That's the path to letting compound interest do the heavy lifting for your future self. Think of it as paying your future self first.
Brilliant. Okay, let's quickly recap those 5 big ones.
Sure. First, budgeting, know where your money's going.
Right. Second, build that emergency fund 3 to 6 months of expenses for unexpected hits.
Third, understand and look after your credit score, pay bills on time, keep balances low.
Fourth, tackle debt strategically, choose Snowball for motivation or Avalanche to save on interest. Find your fit.
And fifth, save for retirement early and consistently. Use those retirement accounts and always get that employer match if you have one.
Those really feel like the core building blocks for, getting your financial house in order.
They absolutely are. It's a solid foundation. And remember, this is a journey, right? A marathon, not some quick sprint. Every single step forward, no matter how small it feels, counts.
That's a great way to put it. Every step counts. So for everyone listening, maybe take a second now and think, which one of these 5 areas feels like the right place for you to focus on first?
Yeah. What's one small action you could take, maybe even today or this week, to move forward in that area?
Let us know in the comments maybe. We'd love to hear what you're focusing on. And again, if this deep dive was helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to Mind Nudge Finance. It helps others find this info too.
Definitely. And stick around because next time we're tackling a big one. How to finally break free from that paycheck to paycheck cycle.
Ooh, yeah, that's going to be a good one. You won't want to miss it. Okay, that's all for this deep dive. Here's to building a brighter, more secure financial future, one step at a time. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Stuart.